Share the screen. Which one are we on? We're on screen one. Right.
Running hurts. Just do Tai Chi. It heals. Okay.
I wish I knew how to turn that bloody thing off. I'm very different. Right, yeah, and the live stream, something went wrong again. I wish I'd get rid of that chimp. No, still not working. Sorry. Let's just carry on. Right. So markets looks like they've had a bit of a relief bounce yesterday, and gold, wow. Let's have a look. Some really good trades on gold. Is sat in the room. So just put these people up here out the way so I can see everybody.
Yeah, I'm here, mate.
Hi, mate. I guess you did really. Oh no, it was a bit later in the afternoon.
Yeah,
But the
no.
how did you do yesterday then? Was it?
Yeah, yesterday was good. Had two on the bounce, hit full target, which was good.
Great, great. Um, I put on the daily edge today that switch your bots on, guys. So I think I've had my bots off for a couple of days. Bots back on. I think I put that on in the daily edge, didn't I?
Yeah,
Where
you
would it?
did. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Get those bots back on. So we'll have a look at that a little bit later. So we're looking for a bit more of a pullback on gold. Gold's really, really good. Eventually broke the 180, 185 levels, and now we're fully bullish on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. What we're looking for today is let's see if we can do the same as we did yesterday and get cracked on, get some good trades. But I think if we can get a pullback, then that would be good. But you can see on the 15-minute stotch, we've got a 15-minute stotch pullback. I did mention that if we get a 15-minute stotch pullback, then we can use the 5-minute bar technique to actually trade Thanksgiving week, and I'll talk about that tomorrow in our room while when we're not live streaming about the Thanksgiving week trade, and it's a pretty high probability trade. Obviously, it's only a one shot, 1 week, but we're moving into, as always, we get a good market sentiment in Thanksgiving week. With things that I've got on, I've not managed to actually finish my Santa Rally paper blog, but it will be on here. I'm looking up here. I've got screens all over the place now. Having just had 2 screens. So if you look on the blog here, it will be here later today. At the moment, the first blog's there, of course, what makes gold move. There's a full blog there to tell you all about gold and a video and a free download PDF, everything. So the second blog will be going on today. And the stats on the Santa Rally are pretty amazing. Gone through them, checked, double checked, triple checked, and they really are that good. And I've got some ideas on how we are going to take advantage of that. So we'll see. Right. So today, I'm not going to go through all the detail, everything. I've been running around like a blue ass. What's it? It's all in the daily edge. We've just all the markets have had a little bounce and then gone pretty flat, waiting for well, the UK waiting for the budget, everyone else waiting for interest decision rates. Now, I didn't get to trade the EB7 this morning. I was too busy fighting the computer. Anyone trade the close this morning on the EB7? With a nice close there from here all the way down to the closing gap. That would have been a nice trade for people to do. Unfortunately, I did miss that. I did a trade last night on the drop for crude, and I took the profit out, then placed another position for crude. So what we're looking for here, the ATR today on the FTSE is 14. We're looking for this market. Really, it's a bit flipping close up for the close. So I think I'll walk on by for the closing gap. So what we're looking for really for people who are watching is this gap to be closed here, down here in cash hours. It's already been closed. And for people who did the early bird trade, that was a nice gap close there. Market's open in a couple of minutes, but you can see here we've been absolutely flat. Market's just waiting on news. So I think any trades up into Camarilla breakout long could be sold today, waiting for the budget news tomorrow at 12:30. So really, we're just watching this. We're hitting the daily pivot now. Now, this may result in the pivot boys coming in for a short to hit the close. That may well be the case. It looks like it is. So you can see the pivot guys come in straight away. If the market's bullish, then the buy. If the market's bearish, then the sell. I don't want to do it too quick, especially on a Tuesday. You can go in bang on the pivot and come into the close because we've got quite a delay on YouTube, and it's all a fait accompli, people watching on YouTube. But today, let's just zoom right out again, back out here. Could be pretty lackluster like yesterday, but the thing to watch out for is the market rising and then failing. We need to get above 9,600 before this market even thinks about being bullish or buying the dips. We bought the 10,000 calls, didn't we? Last week we're miles above that at the moment. Where are we at the moment? History, positions. Yeah, we've got from the 10,000 calls, got 4 positions in now, going from 25 down to 8.5 on the calls. And yesterday they went into profit yesterday, then just nipped out again. So we need to wait and see what the market's going to tell us. So the market's trying to go bullish and failing miserably. The thing is, we need a signal. You can see there, if the market comes within 3 pips of the close, it's counted as closed. And there we are, came within the pip. So that was the trade. Short in from the pivot, but didn't do it this morning. Also didn't do the early bird close either. Kind of missed out on a few things, really, didn't I? But that's life. That's trading. Right. So where are we going to go from here? The 2FX. So actually, I'm going to put the Santa Rally paper up in a minute. Let's just go and have a little look at what we can do. I know the market's, I think the market's probably pricing in Rachel Reeves is going to screw us all over again, but I think if we did get into the 9500s area, then 9520s, and I would be interested in a cheeky long bounce. The market's just going sideways. We are negative, but for me, we want the market to rise up and sell it, really. That's the perfect storm to do. DAX. Well, DAX hit has hit the closing gap. There's that's annoying that. I missed that as well. Did anyone else do that in the room?
Yeah, I did the DAX, Steve.
Brilliant. It's nice to know someone got it. I missed the FTSE going down, missed the flipping DAX going up. Yeah, that was a nice trade. So again, the DAX, market is pretty flat. We've had a bit of a bounce yesterday, but selling the bounce worked really, really well. And again, I will just sell the bounce again. We do have to break out of 23,400s before there's any inkling of being a positive market. We have a closing gap open from yesterday. It didn't close 23,091, and that has got to be a target. But the market needs to move from where we are. It's of no interest where it is. It's of no interest where it is. We should see some pivot traders come in who are trading the trend to trade this down. So I'm going to put an alert under the bottom of this 15-minute bar here. And if we get an alert off, we can come back and have a look at the DAX. If the market comes up to C-vol as well, then we'll have a go again. In this area, all you're doing is gambling. You're looking at momentum on two things, really. One is that the Fed interest rates are now 85% certain we're going to get interest rate cuts, so there's a bit of news there. But it's not, we're Germany's strongest, Euro's strongest economy is pretty faltering at the moment. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. Russia, Ukraine, it's not going to there's nothing going to really happen about that today, I don't think. Budgets, is that going to affect the Germany? I don't think so. And is the Santa rally going to come into effect? Well, I'll talk about the Santa rally in a minute, because this instrument is the best over the past 50 years to trade the Santa rally. And last year absolutely blew the socks off. I'll show that I'll show the paper in a minute. Quickly looking at where we are with other things. Gold. The FX. Right, so we did the AI. Oh, that's a Santa rally thing. Where's my which were the two FX? USD. Oh, right, that was a monster yesterday as well, wasn't it? We're looking at USD Japani, the two best high probability FX trades today, USD Japani and Euro USD. So let's go and have a little look at those before we move on. So USD Japani, let's just zoom right out on that one. You can see where we're tracking on that. Market's just running off. Had a very slow movement up yesterday, but good enough to make a whole bunch of rupees out of it. And we're absolutely tracking this rising support line, aren't we, on the 4-hour? Zoom down again into the 1 hour. So what we're going to do here, it's a 15-minute bar again, isn't it? I can't ignore that 15-minute bar. There's been quite a few 15-minute, if we track from yesterday. Beautiful 15-minute bar trade in there, another 15-minute bar trade there. a 15-minute bar trade there, which would have been stopped out if you took that one. Another 15-minute bar there that would have worked. What time was that? Oh, it's getting on night time. You probably wouldn't have took that. And then this morning, which I haven't taken any of these trades. No. Actually, no, this is the first one. So, possible 15-minute bar setting up here. Nice flat bottom. It's come down, tested the previous lows, probably knocked out some tight stops, and now heading for the hills. So let's see what we can get there. How come my mouse? Can you see my mouse? Can you see that mouse? Anybody in the room?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's from a different machine. There's my mouse, and then if you use another mouse, it carries on. That's weird. The Macs seem to be. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 big screens here, and I seem to be able to use a mouse on either Mac. I've got a MacBook Pro and iMacs, and all the screens seem to be interchangeable. How weird is that? Wonder if you can drag a screen across. No, it won't drag a screen across. It's just the mouse, right? Never seen that before. Right. I get, as you know, I can get distracted quite easy. Oh dear. Right. So, morning, I can't see anybody on the live stream. Ah, right, okay, there are people in the live stream. I better open up the other window. Morning, hi guys. Right, let's get going a bit more. So 15-minute bar going long on USD Japan or USD yen, and Euro USD is the other one today, which is short. Just double check that. Just check the AI is right. I had a really good argument with me AGI bot today. It was trying to insist it was going to give me the analysis for the big 8 majors. Thought it would be best if I understood all the majors rather than just the best 2. I must have been arguing with it for a quarter of an hour until I asked it, do you follow prompts? Yes. All right, okay, so, you know, will you follow? Make sure you stick to the prompt. Yes, okay. So do you think you should have data for the 8 majors? No. So why are you trying to do it? It's like, oh, right. Okay, sorry. I'll stick to the 2 best. So those are the 2 best to trade today. It's the more and more data I keep putting into these 2 AGIs that I've got, the more they keep learning and thinking, and every time, it's nearly every morning now, I put something in there, it then suggests something else, and something else, and something else. How about this? How about that? It's trying to be helpful, but I need to find a way of making it a bit dumber in respect of do as you flipping asked, rather than just getting a bit intelligent. Never mind. Right. Nothing on there. Gold's on a pullback, and we're waiting for gold's pullback. We're really poised for a wee pullback and a run to 4199 or a 1-to-1 risk reward. And because we pulled back on here and the market has turned pretty bullish, really, we could use the 5-minute 5-minute technique if you want to, because we have been pulled back all the way back on the 15-minute. Where are we in the 1 hour? So we're kind of not there in the 1 hour. Ideally, we'll pull back to these other previous lows here into this area here.
Alert triggered.
We've got an alert triggered. Let's go and have a look at the alert triggered. Germany, right. So indeed, the pivot boys have come in again. Not a very good 15-minute bar, that. This could be a fractal. It's a fractal breakaway there. But we need some more confirmation. These markets are trading quite flat. What we don't really want to do, when you're looking at the patterns of the market, you can see where the market's going. You'll be getting people who are buying support resistance levels. So we could easily see some buyers come into here. It's kind of days like today, in weeks like, like we've got waiting for news, and the markets are just running sideways. And if you get any large bars, you don't really have the opportunity to trade a one-to-one risk reward. Just looking at, could be a 15-minute. Could be a 15-minute bar here, or a 15-minute fractal. Don't trade 15-minute fracts. We've got 73 pips there, and only 50 to the bottom. I would like to try and get a trade within this swept volume. So if you're looking here, the market's just been tracking. So these aren't super. The gap trades were really good trades on the DAX and the FTSE. Saw those work, weren't involved in them, but we're highly susceptible to market. We're in the middle. We're in the middle here of this sort of swept volume. They're highly susceptible to just swinging around within the candle size. Look at these candles. It's not very nice at all. Get this fractal up. We don't need to see it. I would prefer to sell it into Camarilla breakout long. Just like yesterday, the market rattled straight up and sold the market. Left the closing gap from yesterday down below CBOS. I think I'll leave this beast alone, and the higher probability trade would be to sell into CBOL. Let's have a look at gold. Gold still. We've got a glimmer on gold. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, there's a glimmer of gold. Crude. not so much. Yesterday, the market comes screaming down, hit our full target, which was nice. Hit it again, and I've traded that a couple of times, which was really, really nice yesterday. And then the market's come up for a bit of a retrace. And now it's, what's a technical term, buggering about. Got quite a tight stop in here with 28 pips, just to see if we can get that 15-minute bar under here, which is a 15-minute fractal, also get clicked in. Now, normally these stops here, we're kind of usually looking around about 60 pips or thereabouts on this market. But as you can see, the ATRs come right down, and kind of 60s in the middle here. So we're very, very tight. But I didn't want to have the market. I prefer to get stopped out than have a huge stop up here and going for a 1 to 1.5 risk reward. When if the market continues trading under this 9 EMA, which is it's showing you the price is trend negative, price action negative still. If we can maintain that and with a nice tight stop, then we can get a 4% trade rather than just over a 1. So I prefer to give this away. If the market's going to go higher, then we will go in for a second time. What we're looking for is this area to hold here. That's what we're looking for on crude. And then we're looking for these targets that were hit yesterday to hit them again today. So we have had a bit of a high test into here, double tap, hence the 3 pip spread plus 1 on the top here to stop us being double tapped and stopped out. I'm waiting for this market to fall over. Right. Yeah, and I did mention yesterday about the Black Friday, London Black Friday offer. I need to get that out as well today. So that's just 20% off membership. So if anyone's actually watching on YouTube, which I'm not sure if anyone's there, and you've been interested in doing trading, then Black Friday offer will be 20% off. Right. Let's have a little look onto gold, and while we're in this trade anyway, we'll look on gold, and I'll show you what we've got to on some of the stats on the Santa rally. So I've done the video already. That's loaded on YouTube, unlisted, and I just need to reconstitute this document head and tail. It is a downloadable PDF, so people can get it today. Is this the one? No, that was my précis. I want my longer blog. Long blog, the better one. I was going to do a short one, but then decided to do this one. So it's looking at the last 50 years. Quite interesting. I'll just skip very quickly through this because other people not everyone's going to be interested in this. But we are going to trade this phenomena. It's crazy not to. So I'm just talking about the end of year market phenomenon. Is it a myth or is it fact? It's fact. 50 years of data prove that. So I've gone through the foundational seasonal tailwinds and actually what happens and all the drivers on and triggers and derailers that have happened over the years, and then gone through past 30 years thereabouts of data, but brought out a case study of 24-25, and the return from now to the mid-January, and this was last year. The FTSE was one that I always favoured, but I favoured it out of habit. It works about 81% of the time. The DAX works about 80% of the time, and last year provided a 10% return between, and that's not just 10% trading, that's a much bigger return trading. That's a 10% increase in the market size. It's huge. And when you're looking at the DAX now running quite flat, what we will do tomorrow morning, because it's going to be quite flat tomorrow, even flatter than today, because people are going to be looking for and waiting for budgets and things in Europe. So what we're going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at getting into the DAX tomorrow. If it doesn't take off today, there's not loads of news for it to actually take off. But getting a handle on 10%, there's no reason really that we're in the room. We probably couldn't turn that 10% rise into 15 to 20% bank rise. So I've got a few ideas on how we're going to do that. So we'll talk about that tomorrow in the room. S&P 3.8, NAS 7% rise last year, and the Dow down in 2.8. But this was last year's run. Historically, the best, really, if we zoom down out of the past 30 years, the highest probability trades are FTSE around about 80, DAX 80%, but 4% return. And then you've got the high risk, high reward. Well, not particularly high risk. 70% of the time the market's risen, and when it has risen, it's made 5%. That's absolutely phenomenal from the middle of November to the middle of January. And this isn't me saying this. These are the stats. 50 years going back, 3 decades of precise trading data, and you know, it's so I'm going to put this blog up on my site, and there is a 2-minute video that I've got as well. I'll load that today, and then I'll push that into a PDF, so you'll be able to go into onto the blog, have a read of the blog, download the PDF, and watch the 2-minute recap on why you actually should be trading the Santa Rally. It's not a myth, it's a fact. Right, but you need to know the enablers to watch out for that are in the PDF. You need to look at all the things that may derail you, and we'll look at that, and we'll go into that in detail tomorrow. So I'm not having to run out anywhere today, so I will get that put in. Hopefully it won't be a 2022 Grinch. Yeah, it'll be another blockbuster. Hard to think it is going to be a blockbuster when we've got the current steering team for the UK economy in play. But you never know. You never know. This phenomenon, because it's talked about, so it's like everything. It's like Fibonacci, isn't it? Does everyone believe in Fibonacci? Well, you don't have to. There's tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people that do believe in Fibonacci and trade Fibonacci. So if they all trading Fibonacci levels, they're going to be self-fulfilling. So you need to know about those things. Just like the Thanksgiving trade that we'll talk about tomorrow, just like the Santa Rally and how to get on board with that. It's all about making money. You don't have to believe it in the way the market moves, but if enough people do believe things are going to happen, they will trade it, and then it will happen. You're trading against people, aren't you? You're not trading price. people are buying the price as a result of that. Yeah, the market goes either up or down. So you trade in people's opinions and people's actions. Right. Pretty boring this morning. The markets are pretty slow. Right. So this is coming up to an interesting area now. So let's have a wee look at what we're going to do. I'm just looking at some of the charts. I've got double deck screens above me and screens to each side. Has anyone on that is watching on YouTube, anyone done any interest in trading today? Took any decent trades? Are we all just quiet watching?
Alert triggered.
I think we know that one. Right, bit of a waiting game, really. I am certainly not going to trade against the trend. I would like to see a failure into camera or breakout long, and I certainly would take that trade short. Let's have a look at it on a 5-minute time frame. Put in a bit more perspective. As soon as we break 9,600, then really that's going to be the signal of the market. It's going to start turning bullish. We'd like to see it go up a bit higher and see if it can actually fail higher. The DAX up on it. Oil's not moving either. USD Japan up here. USD yen is flatly refusing to move off at the moment. Big rejection bars. The wicks 2 or 3 times the size of the body. So the market's oh, okay, yeah, no, just watching. Yeah, there's nothing really. We're not going to trade for the sake of trading. There was the Dow gap this morning that Becky did, and I missed that. I also missed the FTSE. They were good trades, and we're now waiting to get a setup. We could run some filters, the AI filters. Let's have a look at these filters and have a little look. So, right, the perfect short setup filter. So here we are. They get the fracker bots on, all going short here. We won't use that filter because no one's using it. Let's go the perfect long setup. There isn't one. Using the strategies, a 415 reversal. Perfect short, there isn't one. Flipping out the market. Have we got a pullback long, a 1 hour dipper? Ah, All right, let's have a look at that one. CAD Japani. So this is it's allegedly a perfect, not a perfect, a pullback on the 1 hour, right, on the 1 hour. Right, so yeah, it has. It's actually pulled all the way back, hasn't it? Can I get this 1K units out just to be one? Save that. So we've pulled back right onto the 200 EMA again. And the 400 support. This has been quite a bit of a rally, this, hasn't it? So we're net positive 1 hour and 4 hour. We're trading negative on price action. There's nothing really tasty to trade there. Look at all this indecision. That just looks exactly like the USD Japani. Look at that there, that action there, and then put USD Japani up. It's the same. Markets aren't moving. Flipping heck. You can't make money when they don't move. Short. Nothing perfectly pulled back on short. So let's go to 4 hour charts. Is there a 4 hour dip along? Yes. So this is the CAD Japani again. Pulled all the way back on the 1 hour, pulled all the way back on the 4 hour. Still don't like it. Euro pound. Not a lot of movement there, is there really? When what I'm looking at is the troughs and it's saying this is a nice pullback for a 4 hour trade, but we are putting in lower lows and lower highs. Just don't like the look of that. No, definitely not. It's just killed itself there. Two safe havens, Swissy, Japani. Right, okay, well, along. Wow, look at that run. It'd be brilliant to do some hindsight trading on that, wouldn't it? That would be brilliant. It's Swiss francs struggling to make headway, isn't it? What kind of movement have we got down into the 1 hour? That's pretty rubbish as well. So nothing on the 4 hours. Apart from US 500. Now it's quite interesting, US 500. It has now gone cautiously bullish. And that's on, yeah. We'll leave that alone. It's pre-cash anyway. Let's have a look at some other trades here. Let's look at the 415 short filter, nothing. 415 long. Oh. It's saying watch out and be ready. For gold. Okay. We've got gold aligning. They're the indie bots. Four-hour stop and reverse. Nat gas. Whoa. Yeah, there's a nat gas. This is a swing trading filter. Keep an eye out for that going long. Not something I want to trade in the room this morning. But I do trade natural gas now and again. If we get a nice pullback, and a nice pullback in some big previous levels, haven't we there? I think I'll just put a cheeky alert in there. If we do get a double tap down there, then I would be interested in that with the winter coming up. Whoa, lots of shorts. Cable. Right, let's go back. So a quick look at, well, I don't need to look at US. Well, I'll show you USD Japan. It's just completely started to go back down again. That one needs to be left alone for a while until it decides it's ready. It certainly isn't at the moment. I'm going to put an alert at the top here. Let's go back to gold. There'll be lots of tight stops under here, so this will have been a bit of flushing, knocking all the tight stops out, bouncing straight off the 200 EMA, even on a 5-minute. I was going to see if we could do a bit of a walk in the dog trade, but that's not possible. Not possible. Well wrapped up. I know it's not particularly warm in Spain at the moment, but it's probably 3 times, 4 times warmer than it is here in the northeast now. I've got back. Got the central heating on, 2 t-shirts on, hoodie on. Ugh. Kev, are you in Almaty or back in England? You're enduring the sunshine and warmth, I guess. This is a nice rejection candle. This we could get a trade out of this. I'm just going to put the FTSE up on the other screen. Yeah, it's come up to some decent. It needs to be a wee bit higher. Indices, DAX. We'll put that up on there on the screen. Oh, DAX has gone rattling back up again. Oh, had lunch with a dog on Sunday. Do you know what? I went there with Belinda. I went to the dog quite a few weeks ago now for Sunday. I must admit it was a little bit late. We couldn't get in because it was all booked up. But flipping heck, it was wasn't really impressed. If I'm going to go for a Sunday dinner, go out for a meal, I'm expecting to be able to cook the meal better than I could. Wasn't really impressed. I like the dog, really nice pub, but yeah, kind of been favouring Belmonte's, to be honest, at the moment. They're a great SFC there. Really good. Right. Come on. Let's get something moving. Had lunch in the dog Sunday. When was I in the dog? think we're in a dog on Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. Ran last night. Plenty of rain here. Absolutely banged it down this morning here. Just having a quick flick through it. Nothing's really moving. Probably do a short session. I'll get them with this. I'll get them with the Santarelli paper and blog, and then put the video up. Lots of really does. Oh, that was me. I'm looking at who wrote that. Yeah. I'm doing my Black Friday stuff as well, I think. By the time I get round to it, Black Friday will have gone. Come on. Let's have a look at the FTSE. Have we got up on the FTSE a bit more? Oh, come on, you can go a bit higher before you fail. If one thing, guys, if you do see a 15-minute bar on the FTSE, reversal bar, then it's, you know, even if it isn't all the way up to C-ball, then it's just something you got to take, really. If it's going to revert back with a trend down, then follow the trend. Something that DAX has just moved off up to the top side. We need these markets just to keep failing until at least tomorrow. I would have thought the FTSE's had all the bad news baked in, all the forecast bad news with the budget, and we need to get that out of the way. We need Thanksgiving to be out of the way, which could spark the US Santa Rally. It usually starts before the Europeans, and then the European stocks generally take off. We had the Nasdaq, we had the tech, US tech, really, where is it? Really motor off. We look at the look at that, the bounce back on AI stuff. What we want is the market to relax a little bit into Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday. We want to pull back on the Nasdaq to put some calls in to catch the volatility and to try and get on the back of a 5 to 7% rise into mid-January. That would be nice if we can get that. The FTSE's just sat waiting for the budget, and as soon as that's out the way, then we might be able to get positioned good. So positioning tomorrow, hopefully if the market sells off a bit of positioning tomorrow could be quite good for the Santa Rally. It's a little bit early, but getting some nice calls in or even some futures trades could be quite good. We want to be, when we're putting these longer term trades on, we want to be out of the money as much as possible, really, knowing that we've got the phenomena that is real on the Santa rally. And even if the FTSE only produces somewhere between 1.5 and 2.5 on market moving, that of course will translate into an extra 30-50% on your bank on trading, if not more. It's not worth having a go. So it's just steady state, steady watching. 15-minute bar over in 10 minutes. Just keep an eye. The DAX is moving off as well. Yeah, I'm going to call it a short trade today. Short trading today. Gold still not moved. Gold down at 15 minutes. No, I'm not going to sit around for an hour and a half, stream live, waiting for something to potentially set up. USD Japan, no, it's still going down. DAX looks like it's going down, but it's within a range. I'm not interested. Crude looks like it's starting to move. We've got 9 minutes before we trade this. And I do have the closing gap from the 24th down here to hit. So this is setting up to a material trade for sure, that one. Gold, nothing. And crude, definitely. So going back to crude, we put the stops in for that double tap. Did anyone take the early doors trade that I posted in the room?
Yeah, got that one.
Yeah, took it.
It was a very tight trade, but with the way the market's been moving, it looks like it was a reasonable call. It could turn into quite a nice trade. This coming down will also help the FTSE drop off. Euro USD long, that's a short today. Let's see how that pans out. I'll put that Euro USD. That come up on the AI as a screaming short for the day. It's trading under 200 EMA. Under the 100 EMA. I guess you're doing a Clint Eastwood trade here. You're feeling lucky, punk. No, I'm afraid that I'm just selling into reversals on this. It's you can trade against the trend, that's not a problem, but I just don't trade against the trend. There's a 5-minute bar there. You could it's not too late. You could still be in it, but stops need to be above the swing high. I'm just looking at 15 minutes today. So we've got the DAX is putting in some pretty strong moves to the downside. From a price action perspective, the way the market's moving, then the DAX is would be the preferred weapon of choice coming down. The movement's not particularly brilliant on the FTSE. DAX is fairly strong. We've lost half the room. I know it's pretty boring this morning, isn't the market? Sometimes, when the market's not brilliant, then really you've just got to can't force a trade. We've had the GDP out, not moving, static on the DAX. There's no needs to lift it up. And we're not going to get a one-to-one into here either, are we? No. So I'm going to walk on by on that as well. You're better off keeping the money in your pocket and live for another day than guessing at trades or trading against a trend, because it will spank you in the end. You might get lucky once or twice. No, this thing's nowhere near ready. It isn't going to be ready within the time frame. The only thing we've got is crude, which we're already in crude, and we're going short on crude, and we're making money out of crude. We can make money out of gold. It's waiting for 15 minutes. I think I'm going to run and go and get some breakfast, and then we'll come back. I'll get the blog out for the Santa rally. I'll watch what's going on and put some signals in the trading room if we can catch one of the things we're trying to trade today. Bit of a shame. There's not a lot of movement, but it's understandable with the news. Might get a bit of a move this afternoon with the ADP, employment change, and PPI. Retail sales as well. I'll have a look at, might have a look at that. Might go live on that. Depends where I've got. Has anyone got any questions on anything before I go? I'm going to call it early today, because there's no point hanging around just waiting for trades. I mean, we know what we want to do. We're making money out of crude. We want to click into gold. USD Japan, that's not really set up, is it? And Euro USD, just waiting for that one as well to short. FTSE, that's down into the bottom of the consolidation range. Just look at that horrible bar right in the range, right in the bottom of the range. When are you going to take high probability setups better off keeping money in your pocket? Right, guys, if no one's got any questions, what are you having for breakfast? I'm going to have bacon, hash browns, mushrooms, and poached eggs. That's a good question, yeah. Yeah, it'd be more entertaining than watching the flipping markets this morning. They're terrible. If we can get a bit more, if we can get some rupees out of crude, we'll definitely get a gold trade today as well. Can't be too upset with if we can get, we're over 0.5% on crude now. If you can get one to 3% on crude. That would be great today. And take a cheeky 1% out on gold as well. That turn a boring day into quite a nice day. So I'm off now. I'll be back on Friday. Let's see if we be quite interesting on Black Friday. See, the markets are closed on the US markets on Thursday, and Friday should be quite interesting. So I think we'll get some good trades off on Friday, and we're streaming live as well. So maybe come back on Friday on YouTube, and you'll probably see some sporty trading, to say the least. I would think it's going to be short as well, because it shuts at UK 6 p.m. I think. You want to automate the 9 EMA Ikenashi strategy. Please help with guidelines. Yeah, if you're in my room, no problem whatsoever. It's not as easy as automate. You've got to know how to code. But yeah, you can automate the 9 EMA Ikenashi strategy. Not a problem at all. That's easy to do. Right. Bye, guys, and I will see you Friday. And let's get a better day tomorrow.